There are two major reasons why this new 2026 Dodge Charger will not sell well that no one is talking about. Now, I do want it to be successful. I do want it to sell well, but realistically, it does not look like it will sell well for these reasons. And one of the reasons does not have anything to do with it not having a V8. Let's go ahead and get into the video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. So yes, at the top of the video, we're talking about the new 2026 Dodge Charger. I know they released it. Maybe it's been a few weeks now that they came out with it. It would not sell well. And I talk about there's two major reasons why it would not sell well. Now, if you have been following Dodge here for the last at least couple of years, and you know their sales have been on the decline, mainly because of the EVs have not been appealing to their fan base. I mean, when you build a fan base based on powerful V8s, powerful loud V8s, and then you turn the whole tables upside down and you come out with the EV car, it's not going to be well received. It's like your favorite steakhouse turning into a vegan restaurant, right? And on top of that, we know the prices for the EVs were kind of astronomical, and they already dropped one of the models, and it has not been a good rollout with these EVs. But now Dodge has understood the error of their ways and now coming out with a gas-powered Dodge Charger like they should have came out before. Now, I want to say this, Dodge just did not decide to come out with this new gas-powered Charger just now. They did already announce it when they first officially announced the Dodge Charger Daytonas. Maybe it's been a year and a half ago now, but this was already in the plans. This was already in the works. It's part of their normal timeline. So this car was already slated to come out anyway. But unfortunately, they are still making mistakes, and there's two really big issues why this car will not sell well, and they will continue the trend of having declining sales. So the first main reason why this car will struggle with sales is just look at the trims that they have available for this car. You have two trims. You have the RT and the Scat Pack. What's wrong with that? Well, the biggest issue with that is that your entry level car starts out at $51,000 and it goes up to about $61,000 when you get into the Scat Pack 4-door, right? If you look at the past lineup of Dodges, every year they tend to have entry-level cars and own up to the Hellcats, right? You have your V6s, your base models, things like that. They have the cars that are worth like $30,000, low $40,000 cars. But when you come into these cars, you having cars that are $51,900 up to $61,900, and you're talking about horsepower from about 440 horsepower, 400 some horsepower on up to 550, right? So we're talking cars that are pretty much dedicated performance enthusiast cars. These cars are pretty much tailored to those people looking for some sort of sports cars, looking for some sort of high horsepower car they can get into. Now, while that is good for the car enthusiasts like us, we love the big horsepower numbers and things like that. That is pretty much terrible when it comes to the average buyer. Most buyers do not care about horsepower numbers. Most buyers want a couple things: affordable car that looks good. In fact, every manufacturer does this. They have your base model cars that just look like the high-end cars minus a lot of features, but people are happy with those cars because they get a car similar to that and they can get into it for a pretty cheap price. Let's look at your Camaro. You got the low-end cars that you can get into for a low price, even with the Ford, with the EcoBoost and the V6s, things like that. You see a lot of those roll around. And Dodge themselves with your SXTs and your GTs, right? You get the looks of the car without having to pay the price for those cars. Granted, those cars are much lower on performance. You get into the looks of the car without having to pay the premium for like the V8 models, right? And also, let's be real here, your base model cars are gonna be the bread and butter for your sales. Those cars are gonna be the ones that are gonna move units. You can go to any car lot right now, and most of the cars on that car lot will be your base model cars. Go to any Ford dealership, you're gonna see most of the base model cars. Same with Dodge, same with Chevy, the same with any car manufacturer. They know that people are going to come to the lot, and those volume sellers are going to be those base model cars. That's how you move units. That's how Dodge in the past have gotten a lot of their sales, because they had those base model cars such as the GTs and the XXTs that look like your Hellcats, that look like your Scat Packs, but you don't have to worry about that Scat Pack and Hellcat price tag. Being part of the car community is a wonderful feeling, but unfortunately, if you own any sort of Mopar, Camaro, or maybe even a Corvette, you may have to keep your eyes on your car a little bit more due to the increasing theft rates of these vehicles. No matter what mod you may install on your car, make sure one of your first things that you install on your car is car lock. This is the world's best GPS tracker and alert system. With car lock, you will be able to live track your car via GPS directly from your phone, as well as get alerts sent to your phone for any kind of activity that may be going on to your car, such as your engine starting when it should not be starting, or your car moving when it should not be moving. And if there's a power loss that the car lock will detect, it will give you an alert for that as well. Make sure you protect yourself with car lock by going to the link in the description below and using these codes here to get yourself a 10% discount, as well as a 14-day free trial for your car lock. You deserve that peace of mind. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, the second biggest reason no one's talking about why these cars will not sell well is because of this. Now, I'm going to say at the top of the video, I said it doesn't have anything to do with the V8s. Well, it kind of does, but not really. But just hear me out on this really quick. So if you know something's coming out, if you know something bigger and better is coming out, why would you buy what's out right now? Let me give you a couple examples before I make my statement here. So if you have a PlayStation 5 right now and you know a PlayStation 6 is coming out next year, are you still going to buy a PlayStation 5? You might think about it a little bit more because the new thing is already coming out, right? This is kind of what Dodge is in right now, right? They already slated to come out with this inline-six Hurricane engine powered car. And now things have changed. Now the climate of, you know, what you can do with engines, the CAFE laws relaxed, the emission laws have relaxed a lot. Some of that stuff is pretty much gone. You can pretty much make whatever you want. But Dodge is already slated for this car to come out. So it's pretty much a done deal. At some point, Dodge will put a V8 in this car, regardless of what they're not saying. There's a reason why they're not saying it. They're going to put this car out with the V8, but unfortunately they can't say anything about it right now. And the main reason why they can't say anything about it right now is because if they announce right now they're going to put a V8 in that car, no one's going to buy the inline-six. Why would you buy the inline-six car if you know the V8's coming out? Now I get it, the inline-six isn't a bad car, but I'm looking at a lot of comments on a lot of Facebook groups, forums, whatever. Everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's saying the car looks good, I'm happy it's gas powered, but it's not a HEMI. That's the thing that's holding a lot of people back from buying that car. And if people will buy the car if it has a HEMI in it, won't go ahead and, you know, buy this car for $50,000 or $60,000, knowing that in a couple of years, that same car is gonna have a V8 in it. And it may be 3 years, who knows, but people are going to wait, save their money until that V8 comes out so you can see what their pricing looking like and things like that. You're not gonna jump at this car. Now, you might lease the car, people aren't gonna buy it. People aren't gonna go out there and finance for this car knowing that they're gonna turn around and get up out of it when the V8s drop. And that kind of goes back to my original statement here. If you have a PlayStation 5 right now and you know the PlayStation 6 is coming out very soon, probably within maybe 6 months, are you still gonna buy a PlayStation 5, right? You're gonna probably wait a little bit. It's like, it doesn't make sense to buy a PlayStation 5 when the 6 is about to come out. I hope that's not the case because I feel like I ain't had my PlayStation 5 that long, but that's kind of what I'm saying, right? People are going to hold back on those sales. They see what's coming, they see what's happening with all the cars. I mean, Dodge has already kept the Durango around forever and put V8s in every single trim model that they got, and they lowered the prices of that. They're sticking with the V8s there. They're definitely going to go with V8s everywhere else, right? Wherever they can. And it doesn't make sense to go buy the Hurricane powered car later this year, later next year, where this car is supposed to come out, knowing that on the horizon, the V8s are going to be dropping back in there. Now you're going to stuck with this car. Hopefully you're not upside down in it, because a lot of people are going to be upside down in it because of the fact dealerships are going to put those stupid markups on there, because that's how they do. You're not going to take that chance of having to pay for that car and then try to get a good deal to get up out of the car, because you don't know what the value is going to do. And Dodge isn't stupid, man. They know this. They know that they can't say anything about a V8 going in this car right now. And you can see a lot of the articles that's out there, when they ask them about could a V8 fit in there, they're not saying anything. They're not saying yes, it will fit in there. They're being very vague about it. They know it will fit in there, or they can make it fit in there, but they can't go out at all and say that it's going to fit and when the V8s are coming out, because they know it will further tank their sales with these inline-six cars, which is already going to be bad. I mean, people, like I said, people are not dumb. People are not stupid. They know the V8s are coming back in these cars. It's just a matter of when. And you're not about to finance this car knowing that the V8s are coming out. Now, my last thing is not really a point or anything, because those are my 2 points why the car will not sell well. But if the V8s do come out like we're all expecting, it's gonna put the price point of that car at a weird spot, because as we know now, they come out with the same V8s that they had before, 5.7, the 6.4, the Hellcat, things like that. The pricing is gonna be pretty weird, right? Because do you price them more expensive than your inline-six because people want the V8s more, or do you price them lower? Technically, you have to price them lower because the performance is lower on those engines, right? The 6.4 is between the RT and the new Scat Pack. The 5.7 is below both of those, right? So what do you do at that point? Does the 5.7 become the entry-level engine that I talked about before? Is that the one? But honestly, I feel like more people will get the 5.7 than the inline-six just because of the fact it has a V8 in it, right? Now, the pricing for the Hellcat will be easy. You're pretty much gonna just make it, you know, $70,000, $80,000 gonna be above all of that anyway. But then the Scat Pack, you know, the 6.4 liter 392, if they come out with that exact same engine with the exact same horsepower, that has to be above the RT, but below that, I don't know, it's gonna be weird. But those are my thoughts, man. That's what I'm thinking about with this car. I would not be surprised if sales dive off a cliff again with this car. I mean, there's no entry-level cars to move units, so people that just want the car for looks aren't gonna be able to do it. And then also, like, people are waiting for the V8s. People know the V8s are coming back, and they're not gonna jump in out there to get this car knowing that something bigger and better, what they actually want is coming down the pipeline. Like, the new car has everything that people want. It's redesigned, new looks, new interior, new technology in the car. It's just missing the V8. Everyone keeps saying it's missing the V8, and people will wait around for that V8 to get into their car before they go spend their money on this inline-six car and whatnot. Now, there's gonna be some people that's gonna buy the inline-six car, have it, and then trade it in when the V8s come around. That is true, but a lot of people they're not going to hop into a loan for that. They're not going to spend, you know, cash buying that car just to sell it a couple of years later. They may, but most people are not. They know what's coming. They're going to wait. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you feel like the sales will be bad for this car? Like I said, you see my thoughts. You understand where I'm coming from and how I feel about it. I definitely do foresee sales to be lower, and I won't be surprised when the article comes out from all the various companies that make articles on this saying sales are low. It will be low. It definitely will be low. Won't be any surprise there. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. You made it this far in the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of car related things on this channel, so make sure you subscribe so you can be around for all of that we got going on. We'll catch you on the next video. We're out. Cut it.